and the jurors did not vote for us, so there was a lot of infighting going on between Croatia and the rest of the republics, and a lot of the viewers actually from those republics attacked their jurors because they didn't give us enough votes. Because it's usually we have this kind of relationship, but we do hate each other, kind of, but we do support each other when there is actually a time for need. And well, Croatia played the finals in the World Cup. You know that?
Ooh.
Against France.
Okay, so that's it.
Uh,
No, look at what Paki is just saying.
Coding Eurovision is
Yeah,
a
he
nation.
means
A
hosting.
lot of
He
hosting.
means hosting.
Hosting. A lot of kind of said that they're worse on purpose to cover up the fact that they don't have money to host Eurovision.
Then why do the Netherlands send out Anouk with a super depressing song? When if you send her doing what she does best, and that is rock, we would actually have a chance to win. But no, we have to send Anouk, the biggest female rock star that we have. We have to send her with a super depressing song instead.
Yeah, to me, the last winner of Eurovision that actually deserved it was Ruslana's Wild Dances. That song was so fucking good. I actually remember it to this day, and it's still one of the iconic Eurovision songs
I don't.
from this age.
I don't know which one you're even talking about. I mean, I don't follow the Eurovision Song Festival at all, to begin with. But like the previous times, I was at my sister's place or my parents' place, and we had it on in the background, or we were at like Center Parks or something like that, and we had it on in the background. So I was kind of forced to listen in.
Yeah. Actually, I watched the Eurovision where Lordi won with her Rock Hallelujah. You like hear pop songs, like cheesy songs. Then all of a sudden, hard rock. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I was actually watching in complete awe. Like something like that in the Eurovision, and they had the most points in history at the
They
time.
won. And you know what? I believe it was the very next year that Norway thought to send in Keep of Kalessian, which is also a decently popular metal band. And that completely flopped. It was like Norway saw that Finland won with a metal band, and they were like, let's just send one of our metal bands, and then it just completely flopped.
Yeah, and
that is something that I like just use folk music. Okay.
Paki found it weird how I posted a Aretha Franklin song. I actually listened to a lot of jazz and blues music from the 50s. If he doesn't know it.
No, he doesn't.
Well, if I could talk actually what I listened to, actually it would take days. Moldavia usually has great songs, yeah, because they always use folk music in their songs.
And that is something that more countries should do, except the Netherlands and Germany. They shouldn't use folk music. But at some point in time, I was like, okay, the biggest idiots in like the country's representation of music win. So we have got a band completely composed out of people with Down syndrome. And it's an orchestra. We call it the Josti band. I'm like, if the Netherlands really wants to win the Song Festival, why don't we just send in the Justy band? They're the biggest.
No,
They're the biggest. Like
the Eurovision
we're guaranteed to
back
win.
back then, when the Eurovision was hosted, the songs that would usually go on the Eurovision would not be posted anywhere. They would be selected in a festival from each country. There was actually a Opatia festival called in Yugoslavia, where they would select songs that would go on the Eurovision. And in Yugoslavia, it was actually each socialist republic would send their representative, yeah, representative with their own song, and the jurors would vote from each TV station. There was TV Zagreb, TV Belgrade, TV Ljubljana, TV Sarajevo, and from each TV they would actually vote for their own song from all of the songs they like. And first it was the journalist, then the TV jurors, and that's how it usually go. And the song that would go on the Eurovision was actually banned from performing live or on the radio before it was on the Eurovision. It was selected, then absolutely banned from any airplay until the Eurovision. Then it could be played.
Okay. Well, if I may interject really quickly, Rifus, yes, you are invading my stream. Well, invading as in you're present and talking. Well, welcome to the channel, dude. Rifus, glad to have you on board.
He probably thinks of my deep Slavic crack voice.
I hope. I hope. As soon as this beer is gone, I'll quit though. Well, we are still having a bit of issue with tools, but not as severe as previously.
Rifus, the only invaders in game are tornadoes and infestations of bugs and diseases.
Yeah. We just lost a decent size of population due to a tornado that hit like right around here. So this house was gone, then all of the houses here are gone. This fishing dock that used to be there was destroyed. And I lost a couple of people from this area. So I had to like reassign people from everywhere. But luckily I have close to 50,000 food. As you can see, these fields were all fields operational. But I'm stopping them because I have so much food available that I can go without food for a little while, without all of these crops for a little while, I guess. So I'm currently just built a second cemetery. I'm still in the process, I believe. No, wait.
Good night, Becky.
Good night, Packy. Our chapel is finally done. Probably done like half an hour ago that I just didn't notice. But I'm trying to build up like a second town over here. So I'm slowly building it up. I'll hopefully be able to do something at some point in time. Just to get more people in. And I'm just quickly going to hit escape and hit achievements. What I'm trying to accomplish in this playthrough is the uneducated achievement. Reach a population of 300 citizens without building schools. And at the same time, the isolationist. Reach 300 citizens without building a trading post. Since these both require 300 citizens, I might as well take them on together. and be done with that. I'm also sort of kind of trying to get the firefighter, build 20 wells within the single town. And I don't really care much about the other achievements in this case. Well, I'm hoping to get immigrants, of course, allow 200 nomads in a single town. I am eventually gonna try and get 100 stone houses, and also there's one, well, of course, the 300 citizens in 100 years and the 500 citizens in 200 years. But there's also something about highwaymen indeed. 2,000 stone paved road tiles. 2,000? Oh, I thought it was 200. Might eventually go for that at some point. Then there's also a master builder. Build a town with 3 churches, 5 boarding houses, 4 markets, 5 hospitals, 2 trading posts, 6 taverns, and a town hall. Those are all of the things I'm trying at some point to accomplish. And maybe in the meantime, as I reach the 300 population, when I'm gonna build multiple trading posts, that I can get the food variety, the livestock, the farmer, exports, and master trader, of course. Well, the one with nature, I'm definitely not gonna get. Because I've got plenty of fields, I've got a couple of orchards, and I will eventually have pastures. So that one would require, I believe, just trading. Would be.
You should do one with nature.
Yeah.
Just to watch you see, just to see you pleasuring yourself.
But I think that one with nature requires you to have hunters, gatherers, herbalists, and I think fishermen, definitely fishermen, but I think that traders, just using food from traders, from your trading outpost, would work as well in this case. And then maybe that eventually blacksmith and stylish and tombstones I'll be able to get. The mountain men will require a completely different playthrough, because I'm currently playing on a large map with a mild climate. This one requires a harsh climate, small mountainous map, and I'm using valleys. So I'm pretty much using the exact opposite of people that of like map style that I'm using. I would need to use the complete opposite to get the mountain man achievement, so that's not gonna happen. Well, 600 citizens and 900 citizens may or may not eventually happen. And Vasily, the bot is turned off right now, so don't even bother.
I was just being curious.
I'm gonna have to reinstate the bot, and probably all of the money is gonna be gone. I might not even use loyalty points anymore, because I honestly don't see the reason in that.
Yeah, it used to be loyalty points were a thing of the past.
Yeah. I think that Twitch has evolved past the point of loyalty points.
It evolved past of raiding.
No, raiding is still a thing, but the people I used to raid and used to raid me are just like occupied with other stuff.
Yeah.
So 22, that's 2, 6, 4, 8, and then I guess a couple of wells still here and there.
So yeah, I posted the song, My Friend.
Ah, yes.
From the Eurovision.
My friend. Yeah, that guy had talent.
Yeah, but...
I mean, do you remember Conchita Wurst?
Oh, the bearded lady.
I mean...
Well, the guy that has a beard and a Just son.
and a set
Come
of
on.
boobs. I mean, at that point, it became clear to me.
With socks.
At,
With socks in them.
yeah, I mean, how much of a idiot do you need to be in order to convince me that the Eurovision Song Festival is purely about the biggest idiot that a country can send?
Well,
Rather than actual talent. I
Well,
have to finish
actually-
the sentence. Rather than actual talent, it's about the biggest idiot that the country can find.
yeah, actually, I didn't watch that particular Eurovision. I heard it in the news, and I saw like a dress. Then I saw, wait, it has a beard. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a bearded lady.
A bearded lady. Yes, because we need freaks in order to.
Yeah, I was like, this goes to show that in the Eurovision, talent is not required, and what it's gonna do, it's also gonna piss off all the trigger-happy religious people,
Mhm.
especially the kind that live in my country. That something like this one, like this thing, one.
This thing.
Something
indeed.
like this?
That's a proper way of saying it. This thing.
Thing. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna try to explain it from a psychiatrist point of view because I do have a friend who is a psychiatrist and he explains a lot of things in great detail.
Mhm.
But it goes to show that Eurovision is not about talent, and all of the overly religious right-wing people are gonna get pissed off. It's like it's a win-win situation. It's still shit, but it's good shit for something.
Yeah. Well, when I was in Paris last time during the 40th anniversary of my parents, and also met up with Maelstrom, I met a person that was a transgender, and she openly came out about it. Like, I used to be a man. I've actually seen a picture of him when he was a man, but now he's a woman. And I was like, okay, let me just, like, since you're being honest about that, I respect that. Let me just say that I will treat you as a human being because you still identify as a human being, I hope. He's like, yeah, I still do. Good. I said, I will treat you as a human being because you identify as a human being. The only people, air quotations, that I will not respect and treat as a human being are those that do not identify themselves as being human, such as the other kin. Those people don't deserve to be treated as human because they don't see themselves as human.
I actually don't know what's the meaning of other.
Well, you remember that guy we had early on in the stream? Let me see if I can still find him in chat. Early on. Yeah, Mr. Emo Fury.
Yeah.
Somebody like that would probably sexually identify as an animal. That is otherkin.
Well, you, from a biological point of view, XX chromosomes means male, XY chromosome means female.
Indeed.
So, from a biological point of view, there's still a male and a female. There's nothing in between, no gender in between, except gender mutations like 3X chromosomes or XX epsilon chromosomes. But these kind of people don't actually live long enough. But from a biological point of view, well, some people call me a fascist because of this point of view, because I see just only two specific genders, and that's it. That's the biological way of viewing things. What you identify doesn't actually matter in terms of biology,
Indeed.
or to me personally, but in terms of biology, it's XXX, it's epsilon for humans. Well, there are animals that can change sexes or be both sexes at one time. There can be people born with both sexes, but biologically, that's it.
That's exactly what I mean. And I'm glad that this person accepted my explanation. I'm like, okay, as long as you still identify yourself as a human, you will have my respect. But stop identifying as a human and I will treat you as less. And this person was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, actually, I don't know what this otherkin thing means. Like identifying yourself as a third gender,
Not
something
not
like that.
even a third gender, but as non-human. I literally mean otherkin, meaning not identifying as a human, but an animal.
Are people actually that stupid?
People are that stupid. It's like okay, I'll joke about saying that I'm a cat boy because I've got cat ears that I can put on. I'll say I'm a cat boy. But there are people out there that willingly believe that they are not human, but cats. Or dragons, or dogs, or horses. And sometimes it is just a fetish, or it's just cosplay. But some people take it too far.
Well, a lot of people are different. A lot of people are different, and a lot of the human mind is an amazing organ. What actually goes in there is beyond comprehension.
True. Also, what is beyond comprehension in regards of the game
Is your lack of tools.
is my lack of tools all of a sudden again. I was like, last time I mentioned it, we were like 30-ish, 40-ish lack of tools, and now we're all of a sudden close to 80 again.
Well, people have to work, but they do not know how.
Yeah.
So, yeah, get what you're saying about otherkin. Well, the only people who would actually defend them are social justice warriors.
No, you're wrong about that. They are social justice rejects. Because they are so... They reject themselves so much from reality that they believe there's something else.
Yeah, when actually the thing which kind of I was studying some of the like what you call it sexual these also sexual like what you would call it.
Fetish?
No.
Orientation?
There's actually, yeah, orientation. Sexual orientation, the gender orientation, and there's actually a thing about a lot of thing about fetishes and BDSM. I was investigating all of these things from one time to another, and they're actually from sexual orientations. There are actually 26 different sexual orientations. Would you believe it? Like, actually being called a homosexual is a umbrella term. There is like a thing called androgynous sexuality, when somebody is sexually attracted to a person that actually this kind of mixes in both genders into their look. So, as I was actually reading about sex and fetishes and everything, well, sex is still an unexplainable act. Why people have sex is still largely unexplainable.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have sex the way we do? Why do we make babies the way we do? What are the origins of a sexual fetish?
Well,
A lot of these things still don't have any concrete answers to them.
why do we have sex? That's purely uh, primordially an act of instinct to make sure that your genes get passed on for the next
Yeah,
generation so that your species can carry on. That is the primordial reason to have sex. Nowadays, you know, us humans, but also dolphins, and I guess monkeys, certain species of monkeys, have sex for pleasure.
Yeah,
We have sex because we express sex as a form of love, a dedication. Like, I'm dedicated to being with this one particular woman, so I have sex with her. And she has sex with me because she's dedicated to me. But
there are people who have actually sex just because of the health benefits, but they don't necessarily have to be attracted to one each other.
there's also, like, so-called religious cults that have sex because of their religious cults.
Well,
Like-
actually, I was when I was talking about investigating a lot of these things, I was like, I'm usually the type of guy, if there's something I don't understand, I would investigate it as much as I possibly can just to see if I can not understand it clearly, but understand what causes it. Most After I started listening to black metal, would you believe it or not, it was something about when I started investigating what black metal was about and how it actually came to being. It was actually the rawness and kind of brought down all of my views to a point of extreme reality. Like a lot of things we hold dear, such as from say cultural perspectives to traditions to everything, it actually doesn't have any uses in life or in nature at all. Like, let's say I'm a type of a guy, well, I have a schizoid personality disorder. If you know what a schizoid personality disorder is, let's say a flag is a symbol of something, but in reality it's a piece of cloth with a bunch of colors on it. That's the reality of it. The other reality is that it is a symbol of a country or other things, you know. But in reality, it's just a cloth with some colors on it. That's the reality. So my kind of reality was like you're mentioning about the other thing. Like people usually identify with something else. Like that's their democratic right, but in the same time, I think well, it's stupid actually. Very stupid to not identify yourself as a human because well, actually you are a human being. And if you identify like I'm a alien, I'm not a biologically evolved human being that came from like